In this video we will talk about free tips to increase self-esteem. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified when we upload new videos daily. I have had many confidence issues in my life, all of which I have either dealt with or overcome. I have written about some of these issues below. Number 1. The bald patch. Number 2. My height. Number 3. My weight. Number 4. The stutter. Number 5. My lack of belief in myself. Number 6. My career. The bald patch. Even though to some people it may seem trivial, I was born with a bald patch the size of a 10-pence piece. As I went through childhood and especially the teenage years, I became more and more self-conscious and paranoid about it. It was especially noticeable when it rained or when I went swimming, as my hair would become wet. People at school would ridicule me and I was forever trying to hide and cover the bald patch even though most people knew about it. It hurt when people laughed at me and eventually I stopped going swimming altogether. My height. Out of all of my close male family and friends, I am the shortest at 5 feet 4. This probably should not influence my confidence, however, with people continually looking down on me it did. I have been called many names, the nicest being shorty. I was always jealous of other people taller than I was. I hoped that one day I might have a late spurt. This never came. My height affected me with sport. I wanted to be a striker at football, however the coaches only wanted people over 6 feet tall. At snooker I am constantly have to use the rest, which makes it difficult to play up to the best standard, and at tennis I was constantly being lobbed. It also meant that I only felt comfortable dating women 5 feet 3 and under, which reduces the available market considerably. My weight. During senior school I was very thin. This may have been the result of my parents turning vegetarian when I was 12. At the time there were very few replacement foods and it seemed as though we went from having meat and 2 veg to just 2 veg. As my parents cooked the food I had little option but to also turn vegetarian. After a few weeks I approached them and told them that I missed and wanted to eat meat. They were understanding to a degree and said, at this age I could only really be bothered to cook properly a few days of the week, and that gradually became less and less. People at school would call me names like skin and bone, and my weight became another area of paranoia for me. The stutter. At the age of 4 I developed a stutter. This became gradually worse as I became older, even though my parents were told that I would grow out of it. For what fluent people would class as simple tasks like reading from a book at school, answering questions, saying my name and address, ordering items at the bar or in a restaurant, and speaking on the telephone became a constant battle. It was a very frustrating impediment, as I seemed to be able to talk quite fluently to people I knew well and whom I felt comfortable with, but at other times, especially under any form of pressure, could not say a word. At the age of 22, after about 11 months of sheer hard work and practice, I managed to overcome the stutter, and I now help other people who stutter to achieve fluency, as well as helping people with confidence problems. My lack of belief. I always had a lack of belief in certain areas. I would notice a female in a bar, for example, and would want to go over and talk to her, but would have the negative attitude of I'm not good enough, why would she be interested in me? I stutter, I have a bald patch, I have a menial job and I am very thin. Even if I approach her and am successful, I would then be expected to buy her a drink, possibly phone her, possibly meet her parents, and maybe even get married. The thought of attempting these things with a stutter and with a lack of social confidence was far too daunting for me. I left school at 16 mainly due to a lack of confidence and the stutter, but then had the problem of finding a job. Again, my lack of belief came shining through. Who would want to employ somebody with a stutter, who has a lack of confidence and who is shy around people? My career. After leaving school at the age of 16, I now had to find employment. Suffering with a stutter and a general lack of confidence meant that work involving the phone or regular interaction with other people were not really an option. I decided that I could probably cope with filing duties in an office and eventually gained a position at an insurance company. I started at the lowest grade, a grade 2, and the work was routine and mundane. The average time to stay at this level before being promoted was 6 months. The grade 3 post involved sharing a phone, and this is something I found very difficult to use. To become upgraded, you had to apply in writing to the personal officer, and then if you passed the interview, were then promoted. My attitude was that if I don't apply, I would stay as a grade 2, which is what I wanted. I was probably the only person in the country who did not want to be promoted. My boss would ask me at regular intervals why I was not applying, and I would make up an excuse. To keep him happy, I took the insurance exams. After 3 years, I had completed the first qualification, which was a set of 5 exams. To my horror, my boss congratulated me by stating that he was upgrading me to a grade 3 starting Monday without the need of an interview. This promotion should in effect have given me a confidence boost. However, with my stutter out of control under the pressure and some of my colleagues mocking me, I became more and more withdrawn and depressed. I would be invited to social events and would make up excuses of why I could not go, as I had a lack of belief that I could cope with the occasion and all the socializing involved. I hope you found some useful information and tips. I look forward to hearing from you. Warning: none of the information on our videos is a substitute for a diagnosis and treatment by your health professional.